Welcome back, you guys. This is my NFL Weekly Picks for the 2017-2018 NFL season. Playoff edition. TJ Harman for you on YouTube, _rail for you on Twitter. Let's get straight with my picks, but before I do, your first time on my channel, click that subscribe button and just come on back whenever you feel like it, alright? Let's go back to the Saturday division round games. I had both games correct on Saturday, and I had both games incorrect on Sunday. Let's go back to the Eagles game, where most of y'all went with the Falcons to beat the Eagles, but Eagles 2.5-point dogs at home, cover the points, and won the game. It was a shaky start for Foles in the beginning, but he brought out the Nick Foles of 2013. He ended with 23 for 30, 247 yards, no touchdowns, but his passer rating, quarterback rating was 100.1 compared to Matt Ryan's 86.1, I think it was. So, yeah, that fourth down stand between Ryan and Julio Jones when he slipped and fell, but he kind of threw it up real high, that sealed the deal, and just a whole bunch. The Falcons had a chance to win this game. Foles threw a crazy pass that bounced off a defender and got into the hands of Zach Ertz, and that eventually put the Eagles back in field goal range. It was down by 1 point. Oh my goodness. That's the Eagles' first playoff run in almost 8 years. Foles still undefeated when he's playing a team who's got a cover 3 defense. And it's just unbelievable how my Eagles covered the spread, and thank the naysayers for trying to put them down. And of course, they had them as underdogs again this upcoming weekend, but we'll get that in just a moment. The New England game, I had no doubt they were going to win that game, but the Titans put up with a fight, and unfortunately, Mike Mularkey was fired. Well, mutually part ways today with the Titans, so yeah, on that. This is the Patriots' 7th straight title game. And yes, indeed, the Patriots look like the better team in this one. And hey, we'll see what happens on Sunday when they face the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, by the way, shocked and upset the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was an up and down game. The Jaguars led throughout the first half, but the Pittsburgh Steelers came back strong, but still lost the game by 3 points. Mike Tomlin's onside kick late in the game, I don't know what he was thinking, but hey, it is what it is. Jacksonville, this is their first AFC title since 1999, believe it or not. So, yeah, on that. And in the last game, the game of the week, unbelievable finish with the Minnesota Vikings beating the New Orleans Saints. Stephon Diggs, 61-yard reverse Hail Mary, and the defender, I think his name was Maurice Allen. He missed tackling. He ran in for the score. Unbelievable. This is the Steelers' first championship title game since 2009, and their 3rd straight. And it's just unfortunate that something like that had to happen in a situation such as that. And also, they got Sam Bradford back from IR. He's activated, and guess he's going to back up Case Keenum or something like that. So, yeah. So, technically, I didn't do too bad. Again, 2-2 straight up. I went 2-2 against the spread. I went 3-1 over under. The only over under loss I had was in the game between the Philadelphia Eagles, when the point total was 47 points, 41 points, but that wasn't even close. It went just 25 points. So, yeah, that was my only over-under loss. So, hey, it's all good on that. So, for the season, I'm 181 wins, 83 losses straight up, 130 wins, and 126 losses with 5 pushes against the spread. And let's get with our NFC Championship games. We start with the Sunday afternoon game at 3:05. It's the number 3 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to face the number 1 New England Patriots. The Patriots in this game is 9.5-point favorites. Let me explain something to you about the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Pats are 10-1 versus the Jags in their whole entire games that they played. This is the 4th time these two teams have met in the playoffs. The last time these two teams met was back in 2008 when the Patriots won the division round against the Jaguars. And of course, the Jaguars, first time back in the AFC Championship Game, not AFC game. The last time back in 1999 was a win over the same team, New England Patriots, in a wild card game. So yeah, Patriots are 10-1 versus the Jaguars. So compared to Tom Brady then and Tom Brady now, he still have to face Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles all time against the Patriots, he's 0-1. He has a quarterback rating of 83.1. And last time he met with the Patriots, he got blown out. He went 17 for 33 for 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But he's got 3 of the 4 same offensive guys on his team. T.J. Yeldon was there, Alan Hearns was there, and the only difference between the last meeting was they didn't have Leon Fournette, they didn't have Robert Lewis, and they didn't have a couple other people. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup, to say the least. As much as Jacksonville's defense is good with A.J. Bouye and a couple other guys on that team, Jalen Ramsey, who predicts that the Jaguars are going to be Super Bowl 52 champions. Let's not get ahead of yourself, buddy. You know, people like you are very cocky, and situations like that, you end up getting burned and your team won't get nowhere. So I don't know what to think about that, but this should be an interesting game. Game time temperature for this game at 3:05 should be in the low 50s, which is Jacksonville's favorite kind of weather. So, man, I'm going to pick New England to win this game because they just got the better quarterback in Tom Brady. They got the better running back of Deion Lewis. They got the better tight end of Ron Gronkowski. And don't forget Amendola and Julian Edelman. And yes, Chris Hogan. So they have a lot of weapons on this team. But then you got to look at Jacksonville's team. As I mentioned to the players before, I just don't see the Jacksonville Jaguars putting an upset. And I do see them, you know, covering the spread. So, yeah, I actually think I'm going to go with New England winning this game straight up. But I'm going to give the Jacksonville Jaguars that spread of 9.5 points. Total points for this game is 46.5 points. Jacksonville scoring 45 points yesterday, and New England scoring 35 points in Saturday's win. Definitely going to take it over 46.5 points. Yeah. So, I just feel that New England will represent the AFC in Super Bowl 52. It should be a great game. But, yeah, New England wins straight up. But I'm going to get Jacksonville to cover that spread at plus 9.5. It could change. We'll see what happens next few days. And in the NFC Championship game, is the number 2 Minnesota Vikings traveling to my hometown Philadelphia to face my number 1 seeded Philadelphia Eagles. Unfortunately, Vegas don't like the Philadelphia Eagles for some reason, and I have to say, fuck you Vegas, fuck you Vegas, fuck you Vegas. Don't think for a minute you guys are going to get the upper hand in this weekend's game, because it's not happening. The Eagles are 3.5-point dogs at home. Why are they still underdogs? It's just that simple. Minnesota's big win against New Orleans. Big fucking deal. Yes, I see that. But going back into the regular season between these two teams, this is the 25th meeting between these two, Eagles and Vikings. The Vikings are 13-9 in the regular season versus Philadelphia at all time, and they're 0-3 in postseason. The Vikings have the upper advantage, but somebody tell me that they are a dome team, and with the temperatures at 640 on Sunday night, it's going to be in the upper 40s, dropping to the mid 40s. That's okay, chilly weather, and of course, the last time the Eagles faced these Vikings, it was cold as hell, and the Eagles beat the Vikings. Now, I don't know what to think about this matchup between Stephon Diggs and Jalen Mills, or maybe Malcolm Jenkins or Corey Patrick Roberts or somebody like that. Yeah, I see that. Minnesota has a great defense, yes. But offensively, the only guys they have on that team is Kyle Rudolph, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, and don't forget Sendehu, who is in the defensive back for me, defensive guy for the Vikings. Yeah, we see that. But the last time these two teams met, Sam Bradford was the quarterback, and Carson Wentz was the quarterback for the Eagles. And this is the game where the Eagles eventually won that game 21-10 over the Vikings in Week 7 of last season. Now then, Nick Foles is 0-2 versus the Vikings in his career. 0-1 with the Eagles, 0-1 with the Rams. At that time, we had LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Jason Avant, Riley Cooper, to name a few. And with the Rams, he had Gorley, he had Tavon Austin, he had Kevin Britt, he had Kenny Britt, he had Kendricks, and a couple others. But now that Case Keenum is the quarterback and Nick Foles is the quarterbacks for both Eagles and Vikings, this is going to be the backup quarterback game of the century, of ages, or what you want to call it. So, as you know, the Eagles traded Nick Foles to the Rams for Sam Bradford. That was when Foles was the backup with Case Keenum. And then, of course, when the Eagles drafted Carson Wentz, they traded Sam Bradford to the Vikings. The Rams let both Keenum and Foles go. Foles eventually went to the Chiefs, and then eventually was called back to back up Wentz. And Keenum went to the Vikings. And, yeah, Bradford gets hurt. Vikings get Case Keenum. Wentz gets hurt, and now they start Nick Foles. This is the backup quarterback bowl of the ages. Never in the history of the NFL have I noticed backups versus backups. So one of these two guys, one of these two teams is going to Super Bowl 52. I know Vegas is hoping that the Vikings will do it because, of course, the Super Bowl is going to be in Minnesota. But Minnesota is going to be representing as the visiting team. They can still use the locker room. Oh, yes, they can still use the practice facility. But don't get your hopes up high, guys. Gio, don't get your hopes up high. Even though you have a swarmy defense, your offense consisting running back of Latavius Murray, I don't know if he can get the job done because with that Eagles defense, who is number 3, maybe number 2, by the way, I just don't see it. I really just don't see this offense of the Vikings to really put up big numbers on the Eagles on defense. I just don't see that happening. And I'm going to tell you why. The Eagles have to beat the Vikings by eliminating turnovers, something that they failed to do against the Falcons, giving them 10 points. The Eagles have to also create more turnovers on the defense. And the Falcons did not give up any turnovers on the Eagles. Okay? So the Eagles have to create more turnovers on defense. Nick Foles, he has to play more consistent football. Even though his 23 for 30 was great, I like to see him do a little bit more and also throw a touchdown in this game. And I believe with the weather being the way it's going to be, I think he will. Improved special teams. The Eagles muffed the punt that ended up hitting one of the Eagle returners right in the butt or in the leg or something, and that's how the Falcons ended up getting the ball back. The Eagles also got to have that killer instinct on defense for an hour. If they get that same kind of defense that they pulled with the Falcons in the last few stages of that game on Saturday, they're going to Super Bowl 52. And finally, they have to have a better red zone efficiency. The Eagles were #1 in the red zone with Carson Wentz, as well with Nick Foles throwing 4 touchdowns. Since then, Foles has only had 1 touchdown in his last 3 games. He didn't get none against the Cowboys, of course, because he didn't have all his starters. He did give a touchdown run to LeGarrette Blount in that game against the Falcons, but didn't throw for 1. Yeah. So that's what the Eagles got to do to win this game on Sunday. And I believe they will do it for the simple fact defense wins championships. And I think this championship will go to the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC. So, sorry, Gio, but it's going to be a great, great game. Trust me when I tell you. 0-3, the Vikings are in postseason. I can see that expanding again for another season. I'm sorry to hear that. But it's going to be a close game, okay? Minnesota being the favorites, nah. I'm taking my Philadelphia Eagles to win the game, to cover the point, plus 3.5. The total points for that game is 38 points. Who knows what to expect with Case Keenum? Who knows what to expect with Nick Foles? Okay? Case Keenum, like I said, he's in his first playoff game. Well, make that his second playoff game, first in his career. And Foles is in his second playoff game, but, you know, second time with the Eagles. I just see this being a very close game. I'm going to say this is probably going to be maybe a 27. Excuse me. Maybe we can see the Eagles 27 to 21, maybe 27, 24, somewhere in that category. 27-24 Eagles beat the Vikings in the NFC. So yes, I'm going to take those points and go over the 38 points because both teams do know how to put up points. So, that is my NFL Championship Sunday predictions. What are yours? Please post your comments. I know most of y'all are going to go with the Vikings to go to the Super Bowl and the Patriots, but we will see what happens. Vegas, again, fuck you. I hate you because you're putting our Eagles down for the second week in a row. I don't see it happen. Eagles going to the Super Bowl to face the New England Patriots, and we'll get into all details with that as we move forward into the end of next weekend. So, before I go, again, there's some news. Mike Mularkey fired by the Tennessee Titans. Well, they mutually part ways today, so we'll see who will be the next Tennessee Titans head coach. Also, Josh Daniels, not right now, but sometime at the end of the season, the Indianapolis Colts is expected to hire the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. More to come on that, so we'll see what happens. But Josh McDaniels, the Colts wants him as their next head coach in Indianapolis. So guys, I'm TJ Harman for YouTube, over_L on Twitter. Thanks so much for watching me this week. Shout out to my YouTube prognosticators, Andrew, Gio, Justin, Martin, Bill, Chris, as well as Cordy, I think it is. Good luck with your picks as well. And I will see you guys right back next week. Check it out. Our Facebook page is on the link down below. And check out their YouTube page. The link is also down below. I'm out. See you guys later. Thanks again for watching.